Namaste, my beautiful goddesses, my beautiful queens, kings, if any, most of you queens. There will be no cards in this video. I will be talking. I have so many decks here because I am doing the 12-year readings for my Patreon using 3 oracle decks. They're all 3 here, plus classical ones here. There is something I wanted to discuss with you, and I will say right away, my beautiful queens, that I have already said it in my other video, that I have researched a lot of works of a lot of specialists, and I have put them all together, the links to their YouTube channels. I have put, something is going on with this camera, I have put them on the list, and they will be under this video in description box. This question you have asked me a lot of times: will they get their karma? Such a question. Will the one who hurt you get their karma? Will the narcissist who used you and abused you, will they get their karma? Will they be punished? Will a manipulator, which I have made so many videos about, will they get their karma? Will they get their punishment? The thing is that, my beautiful gorgeous goddesses, something I will tell you. First of all, before I tell you about the karma, which will they receive, will they not receive, I will tell you simple fact that we all of us, we all have karma, because we all are results of our past experiences. And my beautiful, beautiful goddesses, if you think that you, in your every life of hundreds and thousands of them you have lived, you always have been a kind and wonderful and caring and angel-like being, allow me to tell you this would not be true. And karma is under our feet. It's not somewhere, it is everywhere, because everything you like, everything you don't like, everything you have passion for, everything you crave for, everything you dream of, everything. It's, you see, when you go to school, you go first grade, second grade, third grade. With each class, you receive more knowledge. With each class, you receive more information. You process this information. Later on, you process more information. Each life is experience. I already told you hundreds of times. Please read a book of Michael Newton, Journey of Soul, Destiny of Soul, Wisdom of Soul. So each life, why you are so unique, why you cannot be matched with absolutely nobody, why nobody can be compared with you, why your gifts are unique, why you are absolutely unique, just like a snowflake. You cannot find 2 similar snowflakes among the gazillion of planets and solar systems of beings much higher developed than you, or not as developed as you. There are gonna be a gazillion of different beings in different levels, but no one is gonna be like you, because only you have lived all those experiences. Only you loved the way you loved, struggled the way you struggled. Each life is that grade in school, and each life is you're learning something. And of course, we not every life we come, I wish, you know, I could tell you, yes, every life you come, you're nice, wonderful, kind, no, of course it's not true. So of course, when you are out of this physical, you're out there with your spiritual family, you are discussing with your guides and your keepers and the soul group which you're coming from. Again, more information you can find in Michael Newton book. You will see where you screwed up, and no one's gonna punish you, or no one's gonna burn you in hell, which it doesn't exist, but it's you will see where you screwed up. And the situation is, of course, all people in your life are not random. All people in your life connected with you somehow. So I know you're not gonna like what I'm gonna say, but I will tell you both sides of the story. So from the esoteric point of view, from karmic point of view, the thing is that I will give you a simple example of the story when a man was left by his mother. She was only 16 when she gave birth to him, and she left him, pretty much completely refused from him, and he was brought up by adoptive parents which were not very kind to him. So for many years, he was over 50 when he already came to Michael Newton for his regression session, and he saw that in one of the lives, not even the past one, he was a high priest of a certain cult. And this girl who was a mother who abandoned him, to make a long story short, he resented his own mother. He refused from her, and he did some very horrific thing to her in that light as high priest, instead of standing by her side because she was his mother. He admired and he valued his power over people as a high priest of that cult so much that he blamed and resented his own mother. So several hundreds years later, this girl, she leaves him as a child. So you can, if you just take this one life, you can think this is a horrible woman, she just left her child. But if you take into consideration that he was the one who did something cruel to his mother, so this situation had to be made right. So the first thing I have to tell you is that I know that we all hate to hear it, but if someone treated you not right, and again, I'm not telling you this is excuse to let somebody treat you wrong. No, absolutely not. I'm just telling you one of the reasons why things happen. If someone treated you not right, the first reason, I'm going to give you 3 reasons. The first reason, it can be connected with karma, that you at some point treated this person somewhat similar. So now this comes the life when your soul, before coming to this incarnation, your soul decides to go through similar experience to make things right, like that. So this is the first reason. You got some not very pleasant treatment from someone. The first reason could be that you actually paid your karma to that person. Again, this is not an excuse for you to stay in abusive, toxic relationship. This is one of the reasons. Second reason, because a lot of you asking why these people come, and I even made a post yesterday. I was digging into the subject of what is the purpose of narcissists, manipulators? What is the purpose? There gotta be some purpose. And now, after the about 5-6 hours research I've done tonight, I'm gonna tell you the purpose. Based on your childhood traumas, I already said it many times, why you have to address childhood traumas, based on those traumas, based on the way you were brought up. And please pay attention if you have been possibly brought up by one narcissistic parent or by both narcissistic parents. My favorite dear is Dr. Ramani talks about it, that those women, the girls who were brought up by narcissistic parents, they grew up in becoming a magnet for a narcissistic manipulative partner. So what is the second reason, my beautiful queens? You won't believe it, but the purpose of that narcissist coming into your life, because you are growing up by believing that you are not much, by, again, a billion and first time I'm repeating, a lack of self-acceptance, self-value, self-love, self-respect. So you do not love yourself, period. And then the destiny, the guides, they, whatever you want to call it, bring into your life, or you with that vibe of your own not love, bring into your life narcissist. Why? Now listen carefully. Narcissist, we already know, cannot love as much as the person with a disorder who cannot see the colors. It doesn't matter if you pray, it doesn't matter if you try medication, or you try herbs, or you try something. It's just the way it is. A person cannot see colors, he cannot see colors. Narcissist cannot feel empathy. He cannot feel sorry for you. He cannot feel your pain. He cannot feel compassion. He cannot love. None of this exists in them, and they cannot change. This is connected with physiological, emotional and mental stage. If you, beside narcissists, dealing with a sociopath or a psychopath, changing them, improving them, it is not possible. And the first stage to your own freedom is simply to accept that you cannot change this person. You cannot change the situation. Even if you go into 10, 12 trainings, you go into regressions, you go into karma healing, you go to shamans, you go drink ayahuasca, you gotta go do anything under the sun. If you are dealing with someone who is a narcissist manipulator, they will stay this way. So you, second reason, you don't love yourself. And here comes into your life a man, narcissist, who can not love you, period. No matter what you do, lose weight, gain 2 PhD, take, there was one woman who said to me, you know, I think that if I cut my own heart, fry it on a frying pan and serve it to him, even then he's not gonna be happy. He's still gonna find some fault in me. So it doesn't matter what you do. You just have to admit, and you have to understand that you cannot change this situation. This person behaves this way. It's based on his emotional stage, psychological, mental, so on. And this person will stay the same. Even, there are hundreds of stories like this. Even when you convince a narcissist manipulator, go to psychologists. There are hundreds of stories like this. Psychologists or even clinical psychiatrists. When a narcissist, manipulator, sociopath, narcissist come to a psychologist, he brings all his tricks with him. You have to understand, all they say is a lie. All they promise is a lie. All their behavior is a lie. It's a lie and pretense, and it's fake. It's a lie, it's pretense, and it's fake. It's outside. Imagine that it's outside. There is this shell inside. There is nothing. They don't have nothing inside, so they have to create lots of things to create the shell. That's why they so much care what the world thinks of them, or people thinks of them, or community thinks of them. They want people to see them as extraordinary, extra grandiose, extra special. This is the biggest thing, goal of their life. And of course they need supply all the time. They need supply of attention, of love or adoration. They need supply because they don't have that supply inside. They need it from outside. So you convince your, somehow it's hard to convince, but here he comes to a psychologist, clinical psychologist, psychiatrist. They come there and he brings all his little tricks. So what they try to do, they try to charm psychologist or psychiatrist. The very sad situation is, in many cases they actually manage to do it. What happens? So if you're a couple and you come to psychiatrist, psychologist, he charms the psychologist. If he can't charm the psychologist and get that psychologist believe him, and it's not rare, it's very often happens, then he's gonna tell you, his partner, oh, I really love her. She's really, or him, she's really very knowledgeable. She's really great. She's really awesome. I will go to her again. But if psychologist sees all these little tricks, and because behavior of narcissists are not that hard to get, if it's a sociopath or a psychopath, then it is much more complicated. Those can fool people for years, and even people will see them as heroes. Or lots of narcissist sociopaths are public people who lead very privileged life, and the whole world thinks he's a hero, he's perfection, when there is nothing there. So if he can't charm and hook the psychologist, psychiatrist, then he's simply gonna devalue. This is how they do it. Whoever they can't charm, whoever see through them, whoever see their masks, they devalue. They think are a piece of shit. Psychologist, don't you see? She doesn't know anything. She doesn't know nothing. She's crazy. She herself needs a psychologist or a psychiatrist. So they're gonna devalue that psychologist, and they just gonna behave the same way. Your first step to freedom is to face that simple fact that you cannot change them, as you cannot make the pig fly, as you cannot turn the rat into a swan, as you can, with no amount of education, no amount of prayers, no amount of trying, no amount of changing yourself. If you become double Miss Universe, if you get 4 PhDs, if you fly to the moon and back, narcissist, manipulator will behave just the same. You have to understand it. You can destroy yourself trying to please what is non-pleasable, period. So unfortunately, why lots of women stay in this abusive relationship is the false hope that things can change. They cannot change, period. The first step for you to admit it, and then to plan what to do, to get some information and plan what to do about it. I will put the link to all of the things you need to look at. So karma. So second thing, the girl who doesn't love herself, not at all, the narcissist comes into her life like a mirror. She chooses a man to love who cannot love her back. So it's like the mirror to her. She doesn't love her, and he cannot love her, period. He starts to treat her the same way as she treats herself. She doesn't have love to herself. He doesn't have love to her. She doesn't have respect to herself. He doesn't have that. She doesn't have value of her own unique abilities and shines. He doesn't have it. He doesn't see it. He doesn't care. He needs a supply. This is the reason First reason, it could be karma. Second reason, it's their upbringing and your own insecurities. You don't love yourself. You get this man to show you that, like a reflection of your own treatment of yourself. And the third, of course, again, the third comes with childhood traumas, and with either you were brought up with narcissistic parent 1 or 2, or there were other circumstances, or one of the parent was gone, or something was in your childhood. So the reason of this video, you asking me, can you have a revenge of on narcissist? Can karma find him? I'm gonna give you a very simple explanation. The only thing which can become karma for narcissist is yourself. I will explain you why. Even after you ran away from narcissist, even after you left him, after you cut him off, he always keeps on watching you. He watches you on social media. He watches you everywhere. Not because he cares, because lots of girls, they write me emails, oh, but he keeps on watching my life because he can't forget me, because he cares. No, not because he can't forget you and he cares. No, he's watching you to see you suffering after him, because if he sees you suffering after him, this is his supply. There are many supplies. So who, you tell me, how do I stop attracting narcissist? Of course, you have to, first of all, work with self-love, self-value, and self-respect. You have to work on it. It's not going to appear by itself. Second, of course, what I wanted to say. Second, of course, you have to understand that you get stuck with a narcissist as long as you give him supply. Supply can be your job, your money, your connections, your talents, but most of all, it's psycho-emotional supply. Means you must adore him. You must show him with every single way that you're thinking about him 24 hours a day, that you can't live without him. You're sending him songs, I can't live without you. You are worshiping him. You are admiring him. He is your sun. He is your moon. He is your Krishna, Brahma, Buddha, Shiva, and Hanuman, and everyone else. He is everything. He is the sense of your existence. Girls, this is not love. Many of you think it's love. It's not love. You are codependent. This is victim and a narcissist, manipulator, and a victim, because love doesn't have nothing to do with it. So as long as you feed him with your love, with your attention, with your adoration, with your tears, with your suffering, with your attempts trying to change yourself to please him, with your attempts trying to change environment to please him, with your attempts trying to change him to please him, whatever actions you give towards him, whatever attention you give to narcissist, this is his supply. This is why he presses 3 main buttons on you when he needs more supply of you. Guilt, shame, blame. Guilt, shame, blame. Guilt, shame, blame. Also, of course, disrespect, devalue, humiliation, double compliments, turning, so on. All his manipulation is done in even love bombing he can get onto you to get your supply. So as long as you keep feeding him with your attention, any attention you give him, even if you scream you hate him, it's still attention. He gets his supply. But karma, the worst nightmare for him, for the one who hurt you, the one who used you, the one who cheated on you, the one who manipulated you, the one who was this heartless beast, the worst thing what can happen to him is when you don't give a damn. When he completely stopped meaning anything for you, that is his karma. He's not going to take it lightly. Because when you act like he doesn't exist anymore, because believe me, he keeps watching you. Even if you don't know about it, he keeps watching you every step. So imagine, he knows from friends who know you from social media, he looks at you and every time he watches your life, he wants to see you suffering. He wants to see you losing weight. He wants to see you looking terrible. He wants to see you sitting there and crying for him and popping the psychological, some mental pills and trying to go to counselors because he wants to see you suffering. He wants to see you crying over him. He wants to see you trying to cope with getting away from him. This all is like honey for the bear for him. But your success, your happiness, your well-being is the worst karma for him, the worst punishment for him you can think of. If the narc sees you looking great instead of crying in a corner, he sees you successful at work, living your life, meeting different people, buying yourself a new apartment, or the worst one, a new boyfriend. Oh, he can get severely depressed. He's not depressed because of you. He doesn't give a damn about you. You have to understand. You are a supply. They cannot love. They don't love nobody. But it means that for you, he means nothing. That for you, he's no longer the sun, the moon, the God, archangels, angels, everything. This is a wake-up call for a narcissist and a manipulator, because the thing is that deep, very, very deep inside, where they don't even go, he always knew you were special. He always knew you were extraordinary. He always knew that you deserved much more that he would ever be able to give you, because whatever he would be able to give you is manipulation, humiliation, and sucking the resource out of you and feeding on it. They are vampires. They sucking life out of you. So as long as even if you got away from him, he's gonna keep on watching you in order to see you suffer, because your suffering will keep giving him resource. Even if you start telling everybody how you hate him, how you hate the day you met him, how you hate everything about him, still he gets his resource from your hate. But if you act and behave like you don't give a damn about him, that is his karma. Your happiness, your success, your joy, you're living your life to the fullest. This is his worst karma, and they will try to get you back. And they might try to love bombing you or coming back into your life or convince you that he had changed. They do not change. Please just accept it as the fact that this planet has gravity. You will not start flying tomorrow like a butterfly. This planet has gravity. There is this thing which can't change. Pigs can't fly. Pigs cannot grow wings. This is the fact. They don't change. The scariest cases of all, Those of you who believe it's a twin flame or a karmic soulmate, and then you must stay and wait until he realizes, understands, and wakes up. This is terrifying. This literally, when I see a girl, a woman of any age, any country, any upbringing, in severely, because I've been digging into psychopathic disorder, sociopath, psychopath, narcissist in the last 2 years. And when I see it, I clearly see the patterns. And there are cards which show you, and I already made a video, the cards which show you you're dealing with one of those. But when I see the woman of any age, any upbringing, being with the beast like this, but believing it's a twin flame, and he's going to wake up miraculously in so-called divine time, he's just going to wake up in the morning and say, hey, I am such a horrible thing. How could I do it? Girls, please, it's not going to happen. If you don't believe me, watch work of Dr. Ramani, Dr. Carter. I put all the links there. You have to understand, they don't change. You are your biggest treasure. You can waste years, but the thing is that the results of toxic relationship with a narcissist, sociopath, psychopath, manipulator, they are tragic. They affect your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, all the aspects of your life. Please spread the knowledge. Girls, I am begging you. I am on my knees in front of you. Spread the knowledge of narcissistic abuse. Spread it, especially if you are in India and Arabic countries where girls are being suppressed a lot, or everywhere. It's everywhere. It's not just there. It's everywhere. It's in America and Europe as well. Please spread the knowledge. Give them the tools how to recover, how to get out of it, how to start living happy life. I am begging you, please spread the knowledge about the narcissistic emotional abusers, how to recognize and how to become free of it. I am begging you to take part in this. You are saving somebody's life, no less than that. You can share this video or one of the links I just gonna give you with someone, and that someone being severely abused can, out of just desperation, click the link and find all the answers there and change your life. When you share the links to narcissistic emotional abuse and how to get out of it, you are saving lives. Please, please, please spread the knowledge. Namaste.